Hello and welcome back to the Karma Stories podcast. I'm Rob and I hope you are having a wonderful day today. Today I have a single story for you from the Am I the Butthole subreddit that comes to us with 2 updates, and the most recent one is only 8 days ago. The Karma Stories podcast is published to all major podcasting platforms, and you can also read along on YouTube under our @Karma Stories podcast handle. If you have a story you'd like to submit to the podcast, you can do so by email at karmastoriespod@gmail.com. If you enjoy true crime stories, make sure to check out our new podcast called Karma Crime. We've released 2 episodes there so far, and the 3rd one is coming out tomorrow morning. Karma Crime is available also on every major podcasting platform. Alright, on to today's Am I the Butthole story. Let's jump right in. This story comes to us from Top Traveler 7135. Am I the butthole for not going to the wedding of my dad and his affair partner? When I was 17, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. 2 years later, she passed away. During these 2 years, my dad was not around much. He was always working and going on business trips. My aunt and my grandma took care of my mom. About 5 months after my mother's passing, my dad introduced me to his new girlfriend. I was pissed. I yelled at him how quickly he moved on from my mom when they decided to tell me they had been in a relationship for 3 years. My dad had been cheating on my mom while she was dying. His business trips were to meet his affair partner. I was so angry, I packed my stuff and left his house. I haven't spoken to him since that day. Currently, I am 25. The only family I speak to is an aunt who helped me when I left my dad's house. A few days ago, my aunt called me, asked me how I was, and then asked me if I heard from my dad. I said, why would I hear from him again? My aunt said dad is getting married to his affair partner, and by going to his wedding, it would help us mend our relationship. I said, why would I do that? He is dead to me. There was a silence on the phone for a bit before my dad replied, asking if that was what I felt about him. I immediately cut the call when I heard his voice. I realized he was with my aunt when she made the call to me. I texted my aunt telling her I asked her not to tell dad anything about me, and she agreed back then. She texted me back saying I was a butthole for saying what I did, and my dad is crushed hearing that, and that I should move on by now. I did not want to argue with someone who helped me, so I blocked her. Over the next 2 days, I got sent a wedding invitation to my mailbox. The only person in the family who knew my address was my aunt, and she gave my number to various members of the family. I am being bombarded with calls and texts from dad, uncles, cousins, aunts, saying I should give him a chance and come to the wedding. Some calling me names for saying what I said. I got a text from the affair partner saying my dad is thinking of postponing the wedding and I should just talk to him. For context, the affair partner was a friend of my mom and knew she had cancer. I said, it's not my fault if he postpones the wedding. I don't want to have a relationship with dad or her. They're trying to force it. It got quiet after that, but being told by so many people from my dad's side that I'm a butthole did leave me conflicted, but I am sticking to my guns. So, am I the butthole? Jumping down to the comment section on this one, we have one from a user called Child of Obama. It says, not the butthole. Your dad cheated on your mom while she was dying, and now the whole family is upset. You've calmly expressed how you feel about it. A, cutting your dad out. B, not attending the wedding. Your aunt also violated your trust by giving your contact information out without your consent. I'd say cut the whole family out at this point. Another commenter down below called Queen Legolas said, not the butthole. Block all of them, including your aunt. Change your number. If you can, move without telling anyone. Do it. Because they're going to show up in person to confront you next. Get some security cameras in case someone tries to go nuts, like forcing their way into your home. They're all horrible people. Your dad and his affair partner are the worst. Both were close to your mom and did this to her. Ask affair partner what she would do if she got cancer and he did the same to her. Actually, don't bother. Don't engage any of them. Don't feel guilty. You're doing the right thing. Stand up for yourself. Everyone here supports you. OP responded to this one and said, thank you. I am in the process of changing my number and updating my contacts. As for where I live, it's a pretty secure apartment. You can only come in after me or someone else buzzes you in. Then you have to write down your name with security, and the elevator works with a key fob only. I am hoping that I don't have to move, but keeping my options open if it escalates. OP, everyone should get to decide who they want to be in a relationship with and who they never want to talk to again. And it would be wonderful if everybody would just support you in that decision. But unfortunately, people just aren't like that. I agree, you are definitely not the butthole in this situation. Your dad's a dick, and his affair partner is too. Alright, let's get into OP's first update. The update is titled, Update, Am I the Butthole for Not Going to the Wedding of My Dad and His Affair Partner? Hello, first I want to thank all who commented on the first post and all who messaged me. It really helped me stick with my decision to not go to the wedding. I wanted to update earlier, but it's been pretty hectic with work. So after the many texts and calls from multiple family members, I sent a text to all the numbers detailing what Dad did and why I chose to be no contact with him. I then blocked all the numbers. I have changed my number, but kept the old number in a separate phone to collect evidence if they start to harass me from random numbers. But luckily, nothing happened, and I thought that was that. A week or so after that, my aunt's fiance came to my apartment. He knows what time I get off work and was waiting for me in the parking lot. I was apprehensive, but he assured me he only wanted to talk. And according to him, the text I sent has caused a crap storm in the family. He told me that some of the cousins who did not know what happened in the past started to question my dad and affair partner, and they started to get defensive and deny it. But someone revealed that it was true. This has caused a massive argument within the family, with some cousins pulling out of the wedding. Dad wanted to postpone the wedding so he can talk to me, but the affair partner threatened to leave him if he did that. The news of what Dad and affair partner did also reached some of their friends, who were at one point friends of my mom as well. Some of them have also pulled out of the wedding, and this caused the affair partner to have a breakdown and start banning anyone who brings it up, family members included, from the wedding. According to Aunt's fiance, she is blaming this all on me, says I did this intentionally. I laughed at that. The wedding is still somehow happening. I asked him about my aunt and how all this started, and he said all he knows is that there was a conversation of how bad the family would look if I wasn't at the wedding, and that my aunt offered to call me. He said that he disagreed, but she did it anyway. He said that he is only here because he felt I needed to know what happened. I thanked him, but said I will be going completely no contact with her, and by extension, him as well. He agreed, wished me well, and left. I'm not gonna lie and say I am completely okay. I miss my aunt, I miss my mom, but I know what I did was the right thing. I'm currently staying with my girlfriend, and she has been cheering me up by coming up with absurd ways to ruin the wedding. As a lot of you said, I should try therapy, and I am going to take that advice. Some of the comments have made me realize that I have bottled up a lot of grief and anger. I'm super nervous about it, but I also feel it'll do me good. So once again, thank you for all your comments and advice. Ciao. Jumping down to the comment section on this one, we have one from a user called PengyGirl1633. It says, they literally effed around and found out. Your aunt put you in a no-win situation, and that's on her, not you. Of course, you're not completely okay. Your family seem like they're all buttholes. I'm so pleased you have a great supportive girlfriend and that you are seeking therapy. You will get through this, and then you hold your head high and live your best life. Another commenter down below called Confection Extra 7869 said, your father cheated on your mother with one of her friends during a most vulnerable time when she really needed him to be there. He could have waited and done the stand-up thing by her. Instead, he went off to dip his stick. You handled your aunt's betrayal as gracefully as one could under the circumstances. I'm glad the family knows what he did. If they had just left you alone, they would not have to worry about everyone knowing and talking. The girlfriend is a rock star here and glad you have her in your life. Take care and live your best life. That marriage is not going to last, and if it does, it'll probably be filled with doubts and suspicion since they both are cheaters. Okay, do you think that the affair partner in this case is going to go through the rest of the life together with this guy, constantly thinking that I can't get sick because if I get sick, he's going to find somebody else. I don't feel like there could ever really be trust in that situation, but maybe they deserve that. Alright, a year passed from those updates. OP updated this again only 8 days ago. It says, update, am I the butthole for not going to the wedding of my dad and his affair partner? Hello, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I logged in today and saw a lot of messages asking me what happened and how I'm doing. I wasn't sure if I should write this or if anyone would even see it because I don't know if I'm doing it right, but here it goes. For everyone asking what happened at the wedding, I don't know much. All I know is that they got married. No one from that family contacted since then, and I didn't go asking around either. I am at peace with it. As for me, things are different now. First, I want to thank everyone who reached out and asked how I've been holding up. Your kindness means more than I can put into words. I'm getting better, slowly, though the journey hasn't been easy. A lot has changed since my last update. I'm single now and have moved to a new city. My ex, who I'll call Mia, and I separated about 4 months after my last post. We celebrated 2 years together in March and talked about our future, but I was a mess. Therapy started well, but I quickly realized just how many unresolved issues I had bottled up from losing my mom. I was struggling emotionally, crying at random, worrying for some effed up thoughts I might somehow turn into my dad, and spiraling with fears I couldn't control. Mia had dreams of marriage and kids. I knew I wasn't in the right place to give her the future she deserved. It would have been very selfish of me to ask her to stay until I got better. We had a long, honest talk, lots of tears, and ultimately decided to part ways. It wasn't easy, but it was the best decision for both of us. Mia and I still care for each other deeply, and she, along with my friends, checked on me every day after the breakup. I wasn't left to face things alone, and for that, I'm so grateful. In July, I was offered the chance to move to the head office of my company in another city. After discussing it with my therapist, I decided it would be a good opportunity to change my surroundings and start fresh. In September, I made the move. My best friend used 25 days of his 30-day holiday to help me pack, move, and settle in. I can't overstate how much that meant to me. I have incredible friends. Since then, I've been taking things one day at a time. The new office has been amazing. Everyone was so welcoming, which was a big relief since I'd been anxious about starting over somewhere new. I now attend online therapy sessions twice a week and grief counseling in person here. It's been helping a lot. I'm in a much better headspace than I was before, though I still don't feel ready to date again. For now, I'm focusing on my career and continuing to heal. Once again, thank you to everyone who has supported me, whether through messages or just by caring enough to check in. It means the world. Ciao. Jumping down to the comment section on this one, we have one from a user called ParkingWallaby4166. It says, I'm so glad to hear you're doing better. I have thought of you often since you posted here the first time, and I am so glad to see your update. Keep up the good work, and things can only go up from here. Life will get better and easier, and bring more things worth celebrating along the way. Keep us posted with your progress going forward. Another commenter down below called You Mad Hatter said, I'm happy to hear you're going to therapy and working on yourself. Dealing with what your family put you through would be tough on anyone. Hopefully, the new year brings nothing but good things. OP, I remember coming across your story about a year ago and thinking about how much of an emotional toll this would take on a person. I'm so glad to hear that you're coming out on top of this one, that you're working on yourself and focusing on your career. You don't need to date again anytime soon, but that's completely up to you as well. Keep the rest of your so-called family non-contact and continue to work on yourself. We know that you're going to be amazing. If you enjoy daily Reddit stories, I encourage you to follow and add us to your favorites on whichever podcasting platform you enjoy the most. And if you're watching and listening on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and drop a like on the video. It really helps us out. Don't forget to check out our new podcast, Karma Crime, which is available on every major podcasting platform. I thank you for watching and listening. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.